Roland Martin is easily the most blatantly disrespectful black vote blue no matter who puppet on the internet. Even more so than Charlemagne the God, because even Charlemagne has to be provoked before laying in on you. But in all actuality, as I think about it more, Charlemagne doesn't even actually go in on anybody anymore. He's gotten older and more mature. And with that, if we're being honest, he's become relatively tame now. Yet Roland Martin, who is easily 20 years Charlemagne Sr., is as foul mouthed and disrespectful as an immature teenager if you just simply have a disagreement with him. Now, as many of you may already know, one of the leaders of the organization Black Voices for Trump, Harrison Floyd, a black man, was the only one out of the bunch in the Trump indictment who wasn't able to work out a bail amount to get him out of jail. Once again, Floyd was the only black man in the bunch who was part of the indictment and remains in jail without bond. Now, you would think, for as much as Roland Martin loves to talk about police reform and criminal justice reform, that he would actually have some sort of sympathy for the brother. But no, instead, Roland opted to make fun of him and call him out of his name several times, referring to him as an idiot, stupid, and excuse my language, a dumbass, all because of his political affiliation to Donald Trump. Not because he may be part of committing a crime. No, that's not why at all. It's solely because of his political affiliation and his support for Donald Trump.
And you know what, and Candace, you gotta love this idiot Harrison Floyd, Black Voices for Trump. I mean, how do they feel about you? They didn't even set money aside for your dumb ass to make your bond. It's how stupid they are.
Now, do you think Roland Martin has that same kind of stupid, idiot, dumbass energy for Hunter Biden, for being a complete degenerate who may quite possibly cost his father being reelected as president of the United States for a second time? No, of course not, because Roland Martin is a vote blue no matter who puppet. But you see, if Floyd is all of these things following behind Trump, then Roland Martin is even more of a dumbass than him. Now, they say all things pass with time, and in the age of social media and the 24-hour news cycle, people forget things relatively quickly and easily, but TD doesn't forget a thing. You see, it wasn't that long ago when the idiot Roland Martin tap danced his hardest, the hardest that he ever tap danced, to get black folks to vote for Biden in the 2020 election, just for Biden to turn around and give him the biggest middle finger by not breaking bread with him when it came to the C-19 federal advertising dollars. Roland the idiot Martin was tap dancing for a check that he never received, and he took to Twitter to cry about it like an idiot. And those tweets are still up like an idiot. To my black-owned media comrades, how many of you have received your C-19 ad dollars from the ad agencies representing the federal government? Roland Martin Unfiltered hasn't received a penny, but I do get requests to appear on my show. More of the same. This guy sounds like an idiot. Black-owned media shutout of C-19 advertising by President of the United States Joe Biden administration. Black-owned media firms have been ignored, shut out by the Biden administration for engaging in one of the nation's biggest public health advertising campaigns about C-19. Earl Butch Graves joins us on Roland Martin Unfiltered to discuss Biden's failure. Now, what I find interesting is that the only time Roland Martin wanted to call out Joe Biden was when he didn't get his check for tap dancing like an idiot. But when it came to black farmers not getting their debt relief money from Joe Biden, Roland Martin was silent. And that speaks volumes to me. Almost purposeful, black enterprise, Earl Butch Graves slams Biden administration for shutting black-owned media out of C-19 ad dollars. What a bunch of idiots. Based on analysis Black Enterprise conducted from data received from the Department of Health and Human Services, which has been charged with oversight of C-19 outreach efforts, Black owned media firms have only received a fraction of the overall committed media spend of $212 million to date, and roughly a third of the paid media dollars on advertising targeted at Black Americans. Also, none of the nation's largest Black owned advertising agencies has been contacted by HHS or its agents to participate in media outreach to a population that these agencies have the expertise of effectively developing products and public service messaging for more than 4 decades. These Black owned media outlets, including Roland Martin Unfiltered,
Got him! Got him!
Allen Media Group, Black Enterprise, and others are now demanding equity in the distribution of advertising dollars from the Biden administration, or they may plan to take action, including calls for an investigation into patterns of systemic racism in federal government advertising that dates back to the Clinton administration, which included in its executive order that all federal departments and agencies place advertising with Black-owned media outlets and these entities at fair market rates. According to HHS representatives involved in the C-19 outreach campaign, the overall spend for C-19 awareness has been roughly $212 million to date. The estimated dollars targeted to reach Black Americans was about $35 million, or 16.8%. However, the amount spent specifically with Black-owned media, including any combination of newspapers, websites, radio stations, local out-of-home vendors, has been 11.9 million, or 5.6% total spend to date. These guys sound like a bunch of idiots. Imagine telling Black Americans that you have to vote for Biden because Donald Trump is a racist, only for you to now threaten Joe Biden to sue the federal government on the grounds of systemic racism. It really doesn't get any more idiotic than that, if you ask me. Yet Roland Martin has the nerve to call this brother, who's stuck in jail due to systemic racism, might I add, given that he's the only Black man in the bunch and he's the only one that has to remain in jail. Roland has the nerve to call this man out of his name. Yet Biden played Roland Martin for a dumbass. Wow. What an idiot. And with all that being said, that does it for today's video. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified whenever I release a new video. All social media links will be pinned in the comment section below. I also have a Telegram group now, so if you have Telegram, make sure to hit the link in the description box below as well as pinned in the comment section to join my Telegram group. And also, please make sure you text tdhiphop to number 33222. That's tdhiphop to number 33222. That way you'll get a text notification whenever I release a new video, but it also serves as an insurance plan for myself, so in case YouTube ever gives me the axe, I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. And last but certainly not least, for those of you who have a love and appreciation for the work that I put in on this channel, the number one way you can show your support is through Patreon. For only $3 a month, that will help put me in position to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube, but to grow independent of YouTube. And for those of you who have issues with joining Patreon, you can also hit the join button that's next to the subscribe button, and that way you can become an official channel member for as little as $3 a month as well. And lastly, if you haven't already, please make sure you join the emailing list. There is no way that I can go independent of YouTube if I cannot take the audience with me. And the link to that will be pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you for your time, and until the next video, peace.